All right, so this is the creating custom thinking worlds, uh, importing into thinking worlds custom files. So you will need Actual Installer, which you can get at actualinstaller.com, and I've already got that installed, so I'll just load it up here. Yeah. So this is what Actual Installer will look like when you start it up. So it's just the free version here. There's two versions, free and pro. All that we'll need is free. So just select free, click OK. So it says specify the source folder. So actually what we're going to do right now is we're going to just press OK. And it's going to bring up our dialog here. So I have created a folder that is going to house our project. So I have three files here. I have the Thinking World software suite set up, the electricity setup, the original, and some new electricity unit files. And these are the old ones. So, and you can get these at here, Thinking World installer files. So yeah, so you'd want this one and this one here, the electricity. Uh, so if we go here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go and run the software suite setup. So if it says something like something uh, if it says change, repair, and remove, that means you've already got the Thinking World software suite set up installed, and you would want to remove that. You'd probably want to back it up first, though. Back it up to another file first before removing it. So I'm going to click next. Okay, there you go. So it is already installed. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click remove. I'm going to remove it. Now I'm going to double click it again. There we go. All right. So accept it. And in the install Thinking Worlds 2, we're going to change that. And we're going to go to, I'm going to press U for users, and I'm going to click users. And then I'm going to click my username. And then I'm going to press D for documents. And go to the documents folder. And I'm going to navigate to the folder I made over here, which is, as you can see, is in Documents, Custom Installers, Thinking Worlds Installer Tutorial. So I'm going to press C and then go right there. And I'm going to create a new file here, or not new file, but folder. And I'm going to call it Thinking Worlds Setup Files. So now it'll install to that folder rather than the default folder. You'll see why we want to do that in a second. And you can just do a complete. So now we have our folder installed here. Now, to note, it will not work properly if you've got it installed somewhere else. Oh, actually, never mind, it will. Alright, and we're going to run the electricity setup as well. So I've already got the electricity setup installed, so I'm just going to remove it here. And I'm going to run it again. And I'm going to change the path again. There we go, users, Zion, documents, just to the same folder. And then I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to call it electricity unit files old. And then it'll install that to here. Alright, so let's go back to actual installer here, and we're going to call it product name, thinking, worlds, product version, we don't need to worry about that. Company name, Caspian Learning. This is good. If you want, you can change the wizard bitmap to something different. There's a bunch of pre-installed ones here. I'm just going to leave it as the default. We do need administrative privileges, and we're going to change the output folder. And we're going to call it, yes. And the file name, we will call it Thinking Worlds Installer Base. Okay. We'll just do it like that. Base. So this is good. Uncheck this. So I'm going to uncheck that. And we're going to go Files and Folders. And so this is where it comes in handy when you know where the file is. So if I open a new window here, just going to right click, open a new window. So and if I go to Program Files, x86, and then if I go to Caspian Learning, Thinking Worlds, and this is where it is. So then we'll go back to actual installer, and we're going to go Caspian Learning. Caspian Learning, and then Thinking Worlds. Thinking Worlds. Yes, Thinking Worlds. Then here, yes. And that is where we want to install it to. So if we click here, actually, and if we scroll down, we can see because it is installed into the x86. So program files x86. So we get rid of that and we'll just change it to 86. And so you see here the install directory or installer is located right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a folder. So we're going to navigate to the folder I had there, and we're going to click this Thinking World setup files, then press OK, and the folder will be in the installer. If the file exists, overwrite it. Okay. Now it'll install all this stuff for us here. Um, and the main executable. So if you see here, it says right click on installation files and click set as main executable. So we want this as the main executable. So we're going to right click and we're going to do set as main executable. Perfect. So yes, we're going to include an uninstaller, and we're not going to include an updater. Okay, so now we go to the dialogues. So we have welcome. We're gonna select license agreement, and we're going to deselect the desk. I guess we'll enable that. Um, additional tasks ready to install. Yes. So language is English. README, user information. Finish. So when it finishes, it's going to ask if you want to launch the application. Check by default. Perfect. So what we're going to do here is we are going to go back to our other file folder here, this one here, and we're going to actually run this again. Um, and it realizes that we've already installed it. So we're just going to modify it here, and then we're going to actually press back, 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 and we're going to copy this license agreement. Just going to write Control C, and it'll make a little sound, but that doesn't really matter. And I'm going to launch WordPad. And my search is not okay. All right. And then we'll go File, Save As, and we're just going to save it under the folder we created. No, not there. And we're going to save it as the license.rtf. Save, exit out, and just click cancel. Yes, finish. So now we have a license.rtf file. So if we go back to our actual installer, we can go to the license agreement, and it says please select the language. So I'm going to go specify license.rtf. Specify license.rtf. And if you press edit, you can edit the RTF file. So That's all we want here. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go save, and then we're going to call it Thinking Worlds dash base. Thinking Worlds installer dash base. So save that. So that is just saving the editable file. So we can actually go and build the project now, and it's going to compress it. And then we can close it. And you'll see that it's built the Thinking Worlds installer dash base.exe. So if we run this, do install to C program files x86 Caspian Learning Thinking Worlds, and then it'll install it for us. And if we finish it, it should run our file. And it didn't. But it seems to work fine, which is kind of odd. So if we go back here, installed their, let's do worlds. Okay. So that didn't work for some reason, but we can save that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to keep this base.aip. Alright. If you don't see .aip, you can go into view and uncheck hidden items. Or no, sorry. Check file name extensions. Make sure that you see that. So we're going to exit out of actual installer here. We're going to double click this .aap. And first thing we're going to do, we're going to go File, Save Project As, and then we're going to do it Thinking Worlds installer dash electricity. And we're going to keep it almost all the same, except what we're going to do in the installation, we're going to go to Files and Folders, and we're going to add another folder. We're going to go Documents, and to the folder I created, and you're going to add the electricity unit files old, or actually no, electricity unit files new. Okay, and you're going to in the destination, I'm going to do that, and then backslash resources, the same resources that's right here, so you have to spell it the same. And you want to check this, make sure that it's set to overwrite. Okay, and so now if we open the resources file, you'll see that it has all this extra stuff now. Alright, so that's good. So you may be asking, why did we install the old stuff? So if you look, the old has this this one here, this elec underscore electricity and electrical currents dot APF. That is a very important file. So I'll go right click, copy that, and I'm going to actually paste it into the new. I'll paste, and now it'll work. So if we go here, and we might have to re-add it. So we go add folder, documents, new. So now it has that .apf file. So that's really important that we have that. So we can go ahead and build the project. Oh, no. Click no. So we're going to change the file name to Thinking Worlds Installer dash electricity. And we'll save Thinking Worlds dash electricity, and we're going to build it. Going to compress it. And we're going to close that off. And we're going to go back here. And see here we have electricity.exe. So if we double click that, we have our license agreement. It's going to install in the right folder. And then see if launch Thinking Worlds. Oh, so it worked this time. Okay. So play as a new user. Just to make sure it all worked. There we go. Electricity and electrical currents. And it all works. And that's it.